It's time for GMA3, urgent investigation. New details on the deadly collision at LaGuardia Airport. Passengers capturing images from the runway. Now, video circulating showing the moment the Air Canada jet slammed into a fire truck. Federal investigators on the scene collecting the plane's black boxes as they search for answers. Addicted to saving, we meet young super savers who are debt-free and hope to retire early. They tell us how they do it and how you can too.
You get the best of both worlds.
And happy Hanniversary! We're celebrating 20 years of Hannah Montana with Miley Cyrus.
It's so much fun to play pretend for a living when you're a little kid. It's what you usually want to do anyways.
Now, what'd she tell her 12-year-old self?
Oh, I say that I can have it all.
It's time for GMA3.
You get the best of both worlds.
Yes, you get the best of both worlds. I'm Rebecca Jarvis.
The best of both worlds. All right, I'm Micah Jachi. We're glad you can join us on this Tuesday.
And coming up, we are all ready for spring weather to kick in, and Tori Johnson is here with deals and steals for the new season, all 50% off.
That's right. Also ahead, the American Idol judges are here. Lionel Richie, Carrie Underwood, and Luke Bryan tell us what they really think when a contestant sings one of their own songs. That's going to be a fun one, right?
Yeah.
So much more about the current season.
Yes, but we begin with the investigation into the collision at New York's LaGuardia Airport. Federal investigators are on the scene as video circulating shows the moment the Air Canada jet hits a fire truck crossing that runway. Transportation correspondent Gio Benitez is at LaGuardia Airport with the latest. Gio?
Hey, Rebecca, good afternoon to you. Yeah, investigators are still here looking through all of that debris, and it is a massive debris field. That has made it very, very difficult for them to actually work on this investigation. It was also very hard for them to even get here because of all of those TSA issues that we're seeing with the long lines. And all of this happening as we learn more about those pilots who lost their lives. Surveillance footage posted on X shows the moment an Air Canada Express jet slammed into a fire truck as it crossed the runway at New York's LaGuardia Airport.
Stop, truck one, stop. Stop, truck one, stop.
The collision leaving the pilot and co-pilot dead and dozens of others injured. The FAA and NTSB are now investigating. The black box is already being analyzed at a lab in Washington, D.C. Officials say a Port Authority fire truck was responding to a separate incident around 11:40 p.m. and was given permission to cross the runway.
Truck one company, cross for Delta.
It was at that moment when Air Canada Express Flight 8646 from Montreal was descending onto that same runway, the impact mangling the cockpit. Passengers describing what it was like on board.
The sounds were people frantic, screaming.
There were a couple seconds of silence where I think everyone thought, like, this is it for us.
The scope of the damage visible from the runway. And in this short selfie video taken by passenger Jack Cabot, you can see the moment the nose of the plane tipped upward. Watch again closely as the passengers move to the rear of the cabin to escape. Now, as the NTSB investigates, the pilots are being remembered as heroes.
If it wasn't for the pilots, I wouldn't be here speaking to you. I wouldn't have been able to come home and hug and kiss my boys.
One of the young pilots killed, Antoine Forrest, identified by family online. His brother writing, "You've again left in a whirlwind too soon to say goodbye. I love you, brother. You can leave with your head held high." And there at the center of the screen, you're looking at LaGuardia Airport. You can see that wreckage. It is still there on the runway. That runway is still closed. And so right now here at LaGuardia, there's only one operational runway, and it's going to be that way until at least Friday, guys.
It's just such a sad, tragic story.
So tragic and so eerie, Gio, to see that footage in the middle of the runway like you shared with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Gio. I'm staying in the skies. The latest on airport security lines as ICE agents deploy to airports across the country. TSA officers calling out sick in large numbers while going unpaid due to the partial government shutdown. Senior national correspondent Steve Osunsami is tracking it all from Atlanta. Hey, Steve.
Good afternoon to you, Ike. Timing is, of course, key for travelers. When you get to the airport, when you schedule your flight, right behind me right now, the main security checkpoint at the world's busiest airport is a breeze. But this morning at 5:30, people were waiting an hour to 2 hours to get through. There's confusion at U.S. airports as federal ICE agents under orders from President Trump are told to help shorten the security lines. They're now working in at least 14 airports without wearing the masks that bring complaints from their critics, charged with helping move people through security checkpoints.
Where can we help you to move those lines and American people quicker through inspections while at the same time maintaining security at the airport?
Passengers couldn't miss seeing them from here in Atlanta to Houston, New Orleans, Cleveland, Phoenix, and Newark. They are clearly providing police presence and security. But the union that represents TSA officers says that this isn't making the lines move quickly.
ICE agents can't work up a lane and work it. All they can do, like they've been doing, is providing directional support for the police department, working in the atrium areas.
And she says it's not preventing scenes like these.
This is TSA pre-check, y'all. Like, I have been inside the airport and back out.
There are often massive lines at Atlanta's International Airport running out into the street.
These insane lines, and ICE is super busy at work. Look. The ICE agents didn't talk, they didn't interact with people. It was really just their presence that was there. Seeing them, it kind of made you feel safe, but at the same time, you're still wondering if you're going to make your flight.
In Houston, wait times are truly testing their patience at 270 minutes long. KTRK's Sarah Al-Sheikh was there.
We're inside Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston, where this TSA line has levels to it. The line goes one floor below me to the basement and one floor above me to where TSA is. People telling us it's taking them about 5 hours just to make it to the checkpoint.
TSA set a record for calls out again on Sunday. 40% in Atlanta, nearly 40% at Baltimore and Houston Intercontinental, and more than 37% at New York's JFK. TSA officers are now on their 39th day of missing a full paycheck, a job that has an average starting salary of just $35,000. The president is now also talking about bringing the National Guard to the nation's airports. For people who are trying to keep track of all of this, it's really difficult. The websites aren't exactly accurate. Some of the things that they use to determine what the wait lines are, the cameras and systems in the airport, only really look at people who are in line in the airport, not if those lines extend out of the airport and around the block. One of the best pieces of advice that we're getting from airport officials is to, again, try to fly during non-peak times. That's when there isn't the crush and they have the available TSA staff to handle the people who are trying to get through. Guys.
Yeah, that is some really useful advice, Steve, with all of this stress on the system. Thank you. We are going to turn now to the cost of your Easter basket. It's going up this year, and the main culprit is rising chocolate. The cost of it's getting higher and higher, and Elizabeth Schulze joins us now with more, including you're going to save us some money, Elizabeth. Take it away.
We're always trying to save some money, Rebecca, so it is crunch time to buy those chocolate bunnies, and filling up your Easter basket this year is not getting any cheaper. A new report from Wells Fargo says that shoppers should expect to pay high prices for Easter chocolate, which is a staple in 90% of all Easter baskets. Cocoa bean prices have actually been plummeting recently from their historic highs, but a lot of candy makers buy cocoa months in advance, so inventory that you see on store shelves right now is still priced for those high levels. This report says we probably won't see chocolate prices come down at the store until Halloween. So overall in the past year, candy prices, including chocolate, are up almost 12%. In the last 5 years, they have spiked 45%. There is one data point that can help put a little bit of a hop in your step this Easter, and that is egg prices. After hitting those record highs from the shortage during the bird flu outbreak, eggs are down 42% in the last year. And guys, just one quick tip for those chocolate bunnies. Look at the cost per ounce. It is right next to the main price on the sticker. That is going to make it easier to compare if you're getting a good deal when you're looking at that price per ounce versus the overall cost, guys.
Good information, Elizabeth, and sometimes they're hollow inside, which was always a downer to me as a kid.
I like the hollow instead of the solid. It's better.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Coming up here, the young people who say they are addicted to saving.
Oh, okay.
It's a good addiction.
Yeah.
They've got secrets that have kept them on the road to early retirement. Stay tuned. We're back now with the young people who say they are addicted to saving. One woman putting away half of her paycheck to achieve her goal of living debt-free, and they're sharing how and why they are doing it.
I'm addicted to saving, but that's also why I have 6 figures in investments by age 25.
Saving money brings me so much more joy than spending it.
I'm addicted to saving, and honestly, it's one of the healthiest addiction I've ever had.
Forget revenge spending. This trend is all about saving.
At 24 years old, I've saved up to $100,000.
Lydia Paternoster got serious about saving 4 years ago and now puts away 50% of every paycheck.
In the past, I definitely was, I would say, addicted to spending money. But then as soon as I switched my mindset and I started saving money, I realized that has an even more powerful addiction, and it's in the right way, right, towards my financial goals.
Recently married, she and her husband are saving up for a down payment. And even as her paychecks have grown, her lifestyle stays the same.
I have an iPhone 12. I have a 10-year-old paid off car. Even though I'm making more than I've ever had, those things will not change, because no matter how much I'm making, those principles and the lifestyle creep will not affect me.
It's really important to anchor your savings goal to something really meaningful, because there will be times when you will want to give up, and that is normal. But when you have that to accompany the goal, that vision of why you're doing what you're doing, it will encourage you to stay the course.
Lydia wants to travel more and retire early. Her goals, making saving more exciting than spending.
When I check my bank account and I check my investment account and I see that number grow exponentially, it's really addicting, honestly, to just see that number in my bank account. Yeah, it's a really good feeling.
I mean, this is awesome. I wish I had that mindset when I, was younger. So I guess the biggest question is, how do you actually get started?
Well, first of all, the good news, Ike, is your baby will have that mindset someday.
Very true.
Because you will teach him from the early days. But a lot of this is about automating. You know, it's easier than ever to take pieces, as far as the actual technology aspect of it goes, it's easier than ever to divert a piece of your paycheck into a savings account that you're not touching. It could be invested in the market. And it's also really helpful to talk about this with your friends, because they can hold you accountable as well.
Right.
And maybe get involved as well, too.
Exactly.
Scenario.
Start those baby accounts early.
Yes.
All right. Coming up in pop news, big news for Earth, Wind, and Fire. All right, you know what time it is, the best time of the day. Pop news with Hannah Battawa.
I like the way you think.
Let's
All right,
go.
let's get it started. And we begin pop news with a bit of news. A new look at the live-action Moana. Disney dropping a brand new trailer for the highly anticipated movie starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson back as the demigod Maui and Catherine LaGuardia in the title role. Take a look.
Listen, princess, if you're going to do this, you got to go through a whole ocean of bad.
I'm not a princess. I'm the daughter of the chief, leader of my people.
Are you ready to be the hero?
Let's go save the world.
Hey, I wouldn't mess with her. Disney also dropping a featurette with a behind-the-scenes look at the making of the film, with commentary from the stars and director Thomas Kail. And you can see it all come together on the big screen when Moana hits theaters this summer on July 10th. I know as soon as my nieces and nephews find out about this, they won't stop talking about it.
Absolutely. Isabel, my daughter, is super into this, and Dwayne Johnson is such a gem. I saw him at an event not that long ago, and he doesn't look like Maui in person, right? But he does the voice so perfectly and has been so sweet over the years. So
Always
forward to
it. The hair.
It's the
10
hair.
out of 10, right? Time now to an important countdown to September. In October, legendary 70s disco funk band Earth, Wind & Fire is headed back to Las Vegas. They are playing the Venetian this fall for a 9-show limited engagement. Since 2018, the band has become a mainstay at the resort and have sold out over 50 shows. Now is your chance to groove. The new set of shows will run October 16th through Halloween. General ticket sales, by the way, open on Friday, so you want to jump on that fast because these other shows sold out.
Their songs just make you
You're
want to
getting into
open
it.
up your arms and just
Little
solo.
little disco. How could you not? By the way, that song is my favorite wedding song. Anytime it's on at a reception, I'm on the dance floor.
Yeah.
And finally, you guys, I come bearing gifts for pop news because we might get a little messy for this last.
okay.
So here we go.
Here we go.
because we are celebrating National Cheesesteak Day, and we can't commemorate this special occasion without having cheesesteaks themselves. Come on out, guys.
This is the kind of surprise.
I love that we have to wear
Look
these
at you.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
show.
You should give me a big.
I mean, yeah, I decided to wear a white suit on the
Look at this.
Okay, so we're welcoming out Dario's Pizza in West Hempstead on Long Island. They brought us these cheesesteaks. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for having us.
I feel like these need the Lion King lips. They're so beautiful. What? Okay, what's so impressive about this company too? They've only been in business for 3 years, but they have already gone viral on Instagram and TikTok. I mean, if you aren't on social media, you have seen these on your feeds. Influencers are traveling from the city and beyond to try their shop and these incredible sandwiches and top-notch pizza slices. They told us the secret to their perfect sandwich is their freshly baked homemade bread, fresh ribeye, and Cooper's sharp cheese. I know we're running out of time, so I gotta take a bite.
You can see why this has gone viral. It is phenomenal. Coming up, spring is sprung and Tori Johnson's here with Deals and Steals.
Let's go. Welcome back to GMA3. Now to our new series, Next Up, sharing the stories of rising stars from various fields. First up is women's basketball All-American Audie Crooks. Robin Roberts has the story of the Iowa State junior making her mark on the game.
She's earned the nicknames and one Audie.
To Audie and one.
And her teammates call her Odds, which is fitting because she defies so many.
I have surpassed my own expectations.
But her name is Audie Crooks, and based on her record-breaking stats, she's next up. Known for her footwork and finishing skills, Crooks is a junior center for Iowa State University, averaging more than 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists per game.
I don't give myself the ball. You know, I'm a center, so that's a big credit to my teammates. Every bucket I've ever scored has come from somebody else.
Earlier this year, she became the fastest women's basketball player to reach 2,000 career points in Big 12 history.
There's so many powerful women that came before me, so to even be a part of that conversation is an absolute honor.
This season, Iowa State women's basketball was one of the most watched college teams according to Nielsen data.
Now that we do have that platform and are starting to get that respect, it's time to shine and time to show what women can really do.
Her message to anyone who might still be skeptical.
I would say, thanks for watching, because most of the time when they comment, it's probably about gameplay, so thank you for your viewership.
Her work ethic and her jersey number are largely influenced by her first fans, her mother Michelle, and late father Jimmy, who both played basketball in high school.
My mom and my dad both wore number 55, so that was something that was really important to me. I know he's got the best seat in the house, so it's just really giving effort and wearing that number.
Fade away for Crooks. That has turned into a go-to for number 55.
Another love she developed because of him was her passion for music. Her skills on the court, just one of her many talents.
I feel like a vessel, honestly, a vessel, especially when I'm singing gospel music, because that's when God is speaking to me. I feel like a vessel for my father as well, because that's something that him and I did together, something that we bonded over. So just carrying his voice and his legacy with me.
May worship you.
Her message to anyone hoping to be next up.
I would say acknowledge and appreciate who you are, focus on who you are and what you can do, and don't apologize for what you're not.
That is some great advice. And
absolutely.
Audie Crooks, a name to remember. Our thanks to Robin for bringing us that really great story. All right, guys, it is time for Deals and Steals. And spring is here. Temperatures are finally starting to warm up. And all week, Tori Johnson is bringing us great products for the season, starting at $6.
Oh, yeah.
I love
we'll get to that $6 one. But we're starting with Bare Minerals.
Yes.
They made their GMA Deals debut with us today. So many requests from viewers asking for this line because it's clean, balancing, protective, and we have every single one of their best sellers here. Starting with this one right here. This is their loose mineral powder. And what's great about this is that it's buildable coverage. You can do it light for sheer, you could have full coverage, all up to you. And then no matter the shade, it leaves you with this like little like luminous glow. Like everyone's skin looks fabulous. If you prefer a compact instead, we've got that as well. 24-hour coverage in every single shade. We've got their liquid concealers, their lip glosses. You name it, we have it, and it's all 50% off and free shipping.
Excellent.
Okay, all right, Ike, since you just showed me that you like a mirror.
Yes, I do.
How about
a guy who likes a mirror.
Okay, there you go. You fit right in this studio, my friend.
I'm looking at myself.
Okay, so imagine if this was filled with jewelry, and then you've got the light right here. We've got 3 different modes of light.
Yes.
Strahan says you look better with every single button that you push because the lighting is so good. But everyone wants great lighting for grooming, for glam, and so we've got a big variety of options. That one is really fabulous because it's kind of like that all-in-one for travel.
Yeah,
we've got
that is
these
nice.
for the vanity, for those who love a little bling bling. We even have, is it stuck down? These are really fun because it's flat for travel, but then you press the button and you've got your lighting on the go with you. Everyone looks great in this lighting, and that's what it's designed for. So no makeup mishaps, everything here, 50% off plus from Impressions Vanity. Free shipping.
Let's go.
I love that. Okay, how about Orlay? We've got all of these coats.
So cute.
It's really cute,
I love
right?
this. The
And these are all
color.
great for like transitional pieces right now. It's like, maybe your heavy coat's not great every day, but you need something to go out with. And so these are kind of like your grab and go styles that just work. Nice, generous cuts, quilted designs, pockets. That trench is great. It's got that little removable
cute, and it has
vest.
the vent in the back.
Exactly,
So nice.
and that's removable, so you get 2 looks in one
yeah.
with that. Big assortment. We've got 34 different options, 50% off and free shipping on these.
Love it.
All right, how about a
really
candle?
good.
I have to. I heard Michael talking about this one. I have to
That's
smell
tomato.
this.
How about this basil? Is one of my favorites.
This smells so
Tomato
good.
and basil.
This is
You
good.
guys
Smell this
swatch,
one.
see what you think of those. This allows you to bring that just sunny joy of
nice.
the garden
Yeah.
indoors. Yes, exactly. The sunny joy of the garden indoors. They're soy, they're beautiful. And then smell this one. This is watermelon. What's cool is the packaging has seeds embedded in it. So you can soak the packaging, plant it, and it will grow the herb or the flower that inspired the scent of the candle.
cool.
Isn't that
That is
fabulous?
awesome.
These are beautiful, 50% off on these,
I
and
like
they smell
how
really good.
natural they smell.
Yes,
Because sometimes a candle can smell not so natural.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, these games.
Yeah.
These games they're difficult. Let me just tell you that. But that's what you want games to be. Difficult. So easy to learn, hard to master. You can play against the machine. It's got all kinds of intuitive controls in there. You
That's
won, obviously. Strategy, logic, problem solving. That's what you get with all of these. This is a great one to pop in your bag.
Yes.
And when you've got a long wait, a long flight, a long delay, pull it out. These are really fun and fabulous for all ages, kids to adults, and they're all 50% off.
Good for adults.
And then finally, since we like to sniff things, smell this one. This is really nice.
I like to sniff
We like to
things.
sniff things. Happy
that
Wax.
does smell nice.
That's the vanilla, flame-free alternative to a great scent at your home. If you don't want to light a candle, these are for you. They're all 50% off.
This smells like
you, Tori.
food.
Yeah, it's
I
so
love
good.
this.
It's delicious. All right, and we've partnered with all these companies on these great products. You can get them at GMAdeals.com, and that QR code on your screen also takes you there. And Tori, you're back here tomorrow with more spring fun. Coming up here next on GMA3, Lionel, Carrie, and Luke have seen it all, but this season it just hits different. The 3 judges will tell us what's ahead on American Idol.
Yeah. All right, back now with the search for the next American Idol, and we are down to the top 20. And this morning, Lionel Richie, Carrie Underwood, and Luke Bryan.
Hey.
That's right. They're giving us an inside look at how they're shaping the next generation of stars. Welcome,
So
guys.
great to
Thank you
see
very much.
Yes, yes. All right, I gotta say this.
We're shaping them?
You
Is that
guys are
what-
shaping them.
You're molding them.
They're in trouble.
Molding.
They're in
All right,
trouble.
this is what I'm excited about. All you guys are performing. You know what I'm saying? Especially you, Carrie, with how great thou art. Oh my gosh. Can you talk to us about this?
Well, we're going to have a moment. We have our Songs of Faith show coming up around Easter. And it's really what faith means to the contestants, you know. But I've heard rumblings of some of the stuff they're going to sing, and I'm really excited. But I get to sing with our platinum ticket winners from last season.
Nice.
Philo, Colby, and Kanan,
Oh, wow.
who are all gospel like powerhouses. So we're gonna have ourselves a moment. moment. I'm excited.
It is a moment, and it's always so great when you get to hear, or at least from my standpoint as the audience, it's always great when we hear the contestants perform your music.
I know.
But Lionel, what's that like when you hear people like Daniel Stallworth performing all night long?
You know what it is? I'm gonna tell you, it is terrifying because you want them to do the song well, but at the same time, please make it theirs.
Yes, because it's such a high mark to do you.
You don't want to do it the way I did it. And what I'm loving is when they take it and make it their own. That's the hallelujah moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because to me, when you get me screaming on all night long, we've done something, man.
You hit it.
Yeah. Now, Carrie, I want to ask you something. You know, 20 years ago, all of us remember seeing you on this competition.
Cheering you on every step.
Cheering you on, really just seeing you do your thing out there. Is there anyone from this season that reminds you of yourself?
I mean, I feel like I see glimpses in a lot of it just because I was where they are. I got to tell Hannah last week.
Yeah.
It was recent. It was on a recent show that she reminded me of me, and it was just kind of she's like, you know, there's all these lights, I'm up here, and like she sings bluegrass, and there's not a lot of like on stage activity in bluegrass. It's like you come and you listen and you enjoy. So she reminded me of me in that way, that it was like, okay, now I'm up here. What do I do with myself on this stage? But I'm excited to watch her kind of find her sass.
Yeah, you see the raw talent there too.
Sure.
It's the combination of that and becoming a star like this show really does. Luke, anyone you're looking at?
Oh gosh, I'm enjoying watching Brooks grow. He's the kid with just such a voice of his own. It's something that we've, you know, when you hear these voices, that you can hear that voice and it's recognizable forever. And I think even before the show, he wasn't even singing for people. I mean, we've put this kid, we've flown him to Hawaii. We're putting him in all these situations where he has to kind of learn who he is as an artist on the fly. But at the core of it, he's got this really pure, honest voice that every time he walks out, I'm like, oh, I just hope he is enjoying himself and not overwhelmed by the moment, and he's doing great. But I mean, all of them, what we've learned through the years that is at any moment, and strangely, I mean, Carrie even had those moments where she came roaring from the back of the pack and kind of was like, you know, these
we're
kids,
all cheering for those moments.
well, they all have to have their wow coming out moment, you know, where you didn't really remember. Like even sometimes we'll be like, I don't remember what this person auditioned with.
They've been on the show this long?
But and then all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh. And so that's what you're looking forward to when somebody like, you know, comes out of the cocoon.
Well, speaking of things I'm looking forward to, not exactly coming out of the cocoon, but going back on tour with Earth, Wind, and Fire this summer.
Get ready. By popular demand. I'm telling you, we went out summer before last. Can I say that right? Yeah. All of my years are running together now. It's an amazing show.
Yes.
And what happens is hit after hit after hit. We grew up together, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Commodores. And so now to be together as this package is just, if you bought a seat, you won't sit in it. I'll put it that way. If you bought a seat, you're only standing in front of it. So it's one of those moments where I'm looking so forward to it. And y'all come and see us.
Oh,
you know we will.
Love you guys. Thank you so much. All right. American Idol airs live Mondays at 8 p.m. on ABC and Disney Plus, and the next day on Hulu and Disney Plus. Coming up, what Miley Cyrus is saying about the 20th anniversary of Hannah Montana.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
All right, we are back now celebrating the 20th anniversary of Hannah Montana with Miley Cyrus herself, and Kelly Carter sat down with the Grammy-winning superstar to talk about the show's legacy. And Kelly, we're so lucky because you're here with us in New York.
I'm here in New York.
Welcome. Great to see you.
Great to see you guys too. You know, believe it or not, it's been 20 years to the day since Hannah Montana premiered. And of course, I sat down recently with Miley Cyrus, who talked about why she wanted to revisit the character and celebrate in this way.
It's the show that shaped a generation and taught fans to dream. The global pop star with the best of both worlds, now back where it all began, 2 decades later.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. I know, it's like getting an additional birthday. Yeah.
So what did it feel like putting on that wig at 33 years old now?
Okay, you're gonna be gagged. This is no wig. Just a little clip-ins.
Okay.
And some chopstick.
Okay, yes, girl.
I've worked so hard to get to the place where Miley is recognizable in the same way that Hannah once was.
Yeah.
And so I felt like there would be this happy hybrid I'd give myself some bangs and blonde and put in my little clip-ins, but I still got to feel like Miley.
Wish that they could see the underneath. I'm just an ordinary girl.
Millions fell in love with superstar Hannah Montana and ordinary girl Miley Stewart. The name, just one of many things that mirrored real life.
Did you hear that? Sold out in Los Angeles. Woo!
Me and my mom threw out, like, what if my dad was the dad on the show? And it was immediate. Like, you can't fake the kind of chemistry that we had. We even did a secret handshake for our audition, and they all melted.
You know, this show became instantly successful. What did that do for you as a kid?
I was so not ready. They played a commercial of Hannah Montana during High School Musical's premiere, and the next day I was going to ride roller coasters, and people started asking for my autograph, and the show wasn't even out yet.
After 4 seasons, 2 feature films, and countless hits. The fan hysteria is still alive ahead of the show's 20th anniversary special. Which features an in-depth conversation with Miley, 4 performances, including a new song, and special appearances from fellow Disney star Selena Gomez.
I think there's enough room in the music world for both of us, right, Michaela? Absolutely, positively.
And Dad, Billy Ray Cyrus.
Love you.
Best of both worlds.
I'm this excited, so I was happy that everyone else was on board, because something that, you know, on this couch I had a lot of scenes with Dolly Parton, who's my godmother in real life.
Who said you can't be 10 feet tall? I say that I can have it all.
And one of my favorite pieces of advice she ever gave me was start promoting something before it's real, because then as people get excited, it'll be easier to make it happen.
Okay.
So I just started talking about a Hannahversary special before one even existed. And then I went to Disney and said, look how excited everyone is about this, you know, imaginary Hannahversary.
Behind my closet is my closet.
GMA even getting a sneak peek inside that iconic closet.
Every piece that she wore as Hannah Montana has been archived. Her mother worked tirelessly to make sure that every piece was saved.
It's really a playground in here. Like, as you can see, the set, the closet, it's so much fun to play pretend for a living when you're a little kid.
Yeah.
It's what you usually want to do anyways, but we get to do it in a way that is daily, that's creative, that's inspiring.
Because you're always borrowing my clothes.
What would you go back and tell that 12-year-old girl before she got to the amusement park?
You know, I'm so in love with the way my life has landed that I wouldn't want to give her any advice that would change the outcome, because I'm so at peace with where my life is at. I think the one thing that I would just remind myself is having fun the whole time.
And in case anyone is wondering, she literally has every piece of article of clothing that was personally archived that she wore on that show by her mom. And man, is that closet cool. The Hannah Montana 20th anniversary special premieres today on Disney Plus and Hulu on Disney Plus. I can't wait to watch it with everybody else.
Yes, and you did a great job on that interview.
Thank
really
you.
great stuff,
Thank
Kelly.
you.
Thank you. All right, we'll be right back. Thanks for watching.
See you later.